According to a poll by the New York Times, 21% of Americans had tattoos in 1999. Today, that number has increased dramatically as 40% now sport some sort of body ink. For some people, tattoos may be symbolic, a form of rebellion, or even a channel of artistic impression. Whatever the reason, tattoos are not going anywhere anytime soon. Marking one's body is neither a fad nor a new phenomenon, as humans have been drawing on their bodies, willingly or not, since before they were writing words. 1. Otzi the Iceman. In 1991, two Germans were hiking across the Alps when they found a body in the ice and snow. They immediately reported it to the authorities. Everyone feared the worst, that the man had died in a mountaineering accident. They did not expect that examiners would discover that the man had been murdered around 3500 BC. The couple had discovered the oldest intact human body ever found, nicknamed Otzi the Iceman. Otzi's body has provided invaluable information on his way of life, including diet, lifestyle, and even how he died. He was shot with an arrow and bludgeoned to death. Scientists have also found that Otzi has a few tats, 61 to be exact, although most are not visible to the naked eye due to his millennia of aging under the ice. The majority of his body art appears to be a series of lines or X's, created by cutting into the skin and rubbing charcoal into the wounds. Most of these marks are found along ligaments and joints, leading many to believe that the tattoos served more of a medicinal role. The tattoos were possibly applied to relieve joint pain in an even older and more intense version of acupuncture. 2. Mark of nobility. For around 2,500 years, the Yukok princess lay buried in a chamber beneath the Siberian ice alongside two warriors, most likely her bodyguards in both this world and the next. The princess probably died around age 25. She was part of the Pazyryk people and bore intricate tattoos on her left shoulder. While tattoos may be considered taboo in some workplaces today, the Pazyryks wouldn't be caught dead without them literally. Tattoos were a sign of rank and wisdom in their society. More tattoos signified higher rank and greater life experience. The Pazyryks often sported tattoos on their shoulders, where they were readily visible for all to see. This was important not just in their everyday life but in the next life as well. Families often shared matching tattoos to make it easier to find each other in the afterlife. Much like the corny family shirts at Disney World, the dead could just point to their tattoos and ask if anyone had seen a similar one. 3. Form of punishment. Herodotus wrote about tattoos in his homeland of 5th century Greece in a much less accepting light. While a sign of status for the Pazyryks, body ink was looked at with the utmost disdain by the Greeks. In fact, it was reserved for slaves and criminals. Many thieves and murderers were permanently marked with their crimes as a warning to everyone who interacted with them. The Thracian women, who willingly tattooed themselves, were described as mad women or raving ones. The only tattoos not looked down upon by the Greeks were codes that wartime spies wore on their bodies to sneak information across enemy lines. Runaway slaves were the most often marked with their crimes of trying to run to freedom. One tale told by historians on air describes two monks found to be speaking out against Emperor Theophilus in public. When word reached Theophilus, he had the men brought before him and inked 11 verses of vulgar iambic pentameter across their foreheads and faces. 4. Olive Oatman. 14-year-old Olive Oatman was traveling across Arizona with her family in 1851 when they were set upon by the Yavapai tribe. The Yavapai killed 4 of Olive's siblings and her parents before taking her and her sister as captives. What happened after this point is uncertain. Unknown to Olive and her sister, one of their brothers had survived the attack and spent the next 4 years looking for his sisters. In 1856, rumors of a young white woman living with the Mojave tribe led to messengers ransoming for her return. Olive's sister had died of starvation. The Mojave accepted, and Oatman was returned to Fort Yuma with 2 noticeable differences. When she arrived, she was wearing traditional Native American garments and 5 blue lines were tattooed across her chin with blue cactus ink. Oatman had a best-selling book written about her and gave public lectures about her time among the Native American tribes. Although she claimed that she was tattooed as a slave so that she could be easily identified if she tried to escape, she swore that she was never mistreated by the tribe. According to Mojave culture, the tattoos she received were common among married women in the tribe and were supposed to offer protection in the next life. As Olive grew older, she talked less positively about the Mojave. Whether a case of Stockholm Syndrome or perhaps fear of ostracism from wide society, only Olive fully knew what happened during her time with the Mojave. '5. Scarification. While not technically tattooing, scarification still deserves an honorable mention for serving the same function for many groups throughout history. Most commonly seen in West Africa, scarification was a popular practice in areas whose populations were too dark-skinned for tattoos to show up well. Scarification was a more dangerous practice than tattooing, with the goal to discolor the skin and create traced scar tissue. Incisions were first made, usually on the face, with a knife of glass, stone, or coconut shell. After a pattern was created, the fresh wounds were covered in charcoal or an acidic plant juice to prevent proper healing. The individual being tattooed was expected to avoid showing any discomfort because the final product was a sign of great honor that one could withstand the pain. These scars serve similar purposes as other types of tattoos, symbolizing rank, wealth, marital status, and the number of children one had. The more scars a woman bore, the more beautiful she was considered in her tribe, both aesthetically and through her strength.